to impart one key element to all other new NLP trainers, what would that be?
Wow. Well, the first thing I would tell a new NLP trainer is, first of all, to begin to get your marketing in order. And marketing includes, let me see if this is off the top of my head now, but your marketing includes a new NLP trainer. You have to first of all think, how do you want to position yourself? Do you want to be a large training company or a small training company? And since you're a new training company, you need to position yourself at the beginning as a small training company, because you will have smaller seminars. NLP is set up though so that even if you have 3 or 4 people in a practitioner training or a master practitioner training, you've made enough money, enough income, so that you can live quite well. But you want to position yourself in a certain way. Are you positioned in business NLP? Are you positioned in personal relationships NLP? Are you positioned in general life coaching NLP? Are you positioned in a NLP branch that considers itself spiritual? All of those are considerations of how does a new trainer get started. The new trainer, when he gets started, has to stand for something. You have to stand for something. I think you have to, and this is really important. I think you have to decide what you want to do, and it's good that you like it. See, I like timeline therapy.
Exactly.
I like timeline therapy. But if you get positioned in something that you hate, there are other parts of NLP that I don't like as much. And I'm not going to say what those are, because that would bias the people taking trainings from me after that. They go, well, Tad doesn't really like this, so it can't be that good. That's nuts, because NLP is wonderful. And anybody that teaches NLP is wonderful, and all the techniques are wonderful. But there are some parts of NLP that I don't like as much as others. But I love timeline therapy, and I love the Secret of Creating Your Future techniques. I love those. So it's good we're positioned in that. It's good that that's our main draw, because I like to do them. So think of if you're a new person coming to NLP for coach, you're going to do coaching or you're going to do trainings. Think of what it is you like the best in the field. Do you like the submodalities section? Do you like anchoring? Do you like strategies? And pick one of those areas to focus on, and have that be your nom de plume, your claim to fame. Because if you can position yourself in that and drive that as a wedge or a market wedge, drive that as being the thing that brings people to you, then that indeed will be the source of your success, and it will also be something that will be satisfying to you. Like I said, we got real lucky in discovering some things in timeline therapy, and I've said that for years. I think it was a matter of knowing modeling, but knowing modeling, I modeled timeline therapy correctly. And it ended up being a really nice thing to do. It's really good to assist people, because you see the difference in their face, their physiology in their face, and the color of their skin and tonus and so forth. And it's a really good thing to do to help somebody get free from their negative emotions from the past. Emotional freedom is very important, I think, and people need to learn they don't have to be prisoners of their negative emotions.
Right. What are the common elements you have discovered, regardless of the differences in culture?
Yeah, so one of the things I notice is that all over the world, wherever I go, and Adriana and I have been all over the world in the last year or so. We were in Europe, in Amsterdam, in Milan. We were in Japan. We were in Australia. In previous years, we even went to New Zealand, and so forth. Also Australia and the United States, and Las Vegas especially. And I've noticed that people are looking for one thing. People are looking for happiness. The problem is that many people aren't looking in the right place. They tend to delay their happiness. They say, well, if this happens, then I'll be happy. Or if that happens, then I'll be happy. Or maybe if I get a new job, that'll make me happy. And what they don't notice is that they could have happiness right now. See, happiness is not something necessarily that's dependent on outside forces or outside things to happen to you. Happiness is something you could have now. So one of the things I noticed, and this was especially true when we taught in the Middle East. We spent several years teaching in NLP trainings in Egypt, and we noticed that people have the same concerns. They have kids on drugs. They have relationship issues, husband and wife issues. They have business issues, they want to make more money, they want to have a better career, they want to do better in their job, get a promotion, for example. All of these are things that pretty much is common. They pretty much are common to all people in all the world. So the issues that people have are pretty much the same. You might think that, oh, because a person lives in, I don't know, somewhere like Saudi Arabia, or because they live in San Bernardino, or because they live in Kent in England, or Kent in Australia, you might think, oh, they have different issues because they live in different places. But pretty much the issues are the same. Pretty much the issues are the same. And what people are looking for is happiness. What prevents happiness is negative emotions. Negative emotions like anger, sadness, fear, hurt, and guilt. Negative limiting decisions like I'm not good enough, I can't have what I want, I can't make enough money, I can't have a great relationship. Those are all things that people think. And then a technique for how do you put it in the future? How do you assist someone to put something in their future so that it actually happens? So that it is in the future timeline and it's something that actually happens to the person. So this is what I think, this is how I see people, is that they, although they're different on the outside, they all have the same concerns on the inside. They may wear different clothing, there may be different cultures, different norms, different ways of acting, different ways of behaving, different archetypal communication that occurs in the society, but everyone is looking for the same thing. Everyone is looking for some happiness, for some peace, for some peace of mind, and timeline therapy is one of the things that can really help that. So I think that's how people are the same.
Right. Everywhere in the
world.
world.
I think everywhere in the world people are the same.
Yeah. No, that's basically being human.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what makes your graduates so successful? All your graduates, or most of your graduates, are very, very successful trainers. Some of them are master trainers as well. What makes them so successful?
Well, first of all, I want to say in terms of NLP, we've certified more trainers than the founders of NLP, because we've been certifying trainers every single year for the last 33 years.
Yeah.
So we've been training trainers and certifying trainers. And our trainers actually end up being the most successful for several reasons. Our training is about installing behaviors that make a trainer a good trainer. So if you want to be the best trainer you can possibly be, our NLP trainers training, I believe, is because I designed it. Of course, I would believe it.
Yes.
Our trainers training is the best trainers training in the world. Of any kind, of any NLP or non-NLP, it's the best trainers training in the world because it installs 30 behaviors. And one of the reasons why our graduates are so good is actually you can tell. If you go to a convention, and I've gone to conventions, and I can see which people are our graduates and which aren't, because they all have a special style, they all have a special way of presenting, and they're all charismatic. And so I don't think it's because we have graduates who come to us in the first place who are smarter than anybody else, although they must be because they chose us to be smart because we produce the best results. But the fact is that as someone learns this material and actualizes it and puts it out there in behavior and does it when they make a presentation, and we install it, by the way, as you know, we install it. So it's not just like it happens, it's like it's installed. It's purposefully, the behaviors are purposefully installed so that you get, when you take the training, you get the best possible results you can get as to who you are. So our graduates are the most successful, and I want to point to people like Dave Shepard and in England,
yes,
who's celebrating his 20th year. I want to point to, as we celebrate our 30th year, Dave's 10 years behind and celebrates his 20th year. And Dave's one of our graduates and very, very successful. Bruce Farrow in England, also very successful. And other trainers in other parts of the world, very, very successful. We've certified a whole bunch of master trainers. Those are just two.